Here's a manager that we should go and get for the free. Ain't going to cost us nothing. Get him in there. Won the Champions League 2012, managed Villa in 16, and he's now a manager out in South Korea for Hyundai. Who's that?
Don't know. Who's it?
Who that is?
Who's it?
You. What do you mean?
Well,
Do you not know, Jay?
No, who's it?
Roberto Di Matteo, mate.
And Cliff does me every time. We are back again. It is Monday, so that means the podcast is on, guys. So make sure you're liking the podcast. Make sure you're subbing. Big up to everyone who's got me past 118k. Come on, we're flying. Road to 150 is on. And yeah, DJB will be joining us shortly. But whilst we're waiting for him, Jezza, how's your Monday?
Yeah, good, mate. Yeah, good. Arsenal free weekend. I didn't watch any of the FA Cup at all. If Arsenal aren't in it, I'm not interested, to be honest. So had a lovely weekend away with the wife. Fabulous time. Ate great food, had great wines, and thoroughly enjoyed ourselves. And didn't have to put up with any shit from Arsenal. So what could be better?
So Ashley said the glasses podcast. No, at least you had a good weekend, Jez. Stress free. With the lady. And that's because our club knocked us out of the cup to a team that got knocked out by Fulham. Oh dear. One of the worst games ever. Kenny, how are you, mate? Looks like you just come back from jogging.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happened. Thing is, I'm a football tragic, so I watched the FA Cup games. I probably won't get those 2 hours back from the Man United Fulham game, which was absolutely terrible to watch. But I did watch the other games. There wasn't that many shocks, as far as I know. But it's an open tournament, and it just makes it's hard watching the FA Cup without being angry at Arsenal. I'm still angry at them because look, since then. It's just the season's just been petted out into nothing. But you know what? We're about to find out that the chosen one is now going to find out that that he's going to work at a football club that wants to operate properly, and he's actually going to be accountable. And I'm all about that.
Yeah, 100%. Matty, how's your Monday, mate?
Well, man, it's good. Woke up to some good news this morning, and I'm sure we'll discuss it. And Arsenal, it's like Jez, Arsenal free weekend is a good weekend. Low blood pressure. So.
Yeah, until I put on Real Madrid, and then they lost. Oh, man. I couldn't catch a break this weekend. But here's what it is. Listen, smash through the likes. And, we might as well start with this news because this is dominating the headlines. Fabrizio Romano posted out earlier this morning saying that Arsenal were leading the race, and he is our number one candidate for Andrea Berta. And obviously, I watch this league, so I wouldn't say I know loads about him, but I know quite a bit about him. And he was at Atleti for nearly 12 years, and they mutually parted ways in January. Me personally, I think it's a good bit of news. I think him and Simeone didn't really see eye to eye on quite a few transfers over the last 2 years. Yeah, and I think it was just a case of right, okay, I'm just gonna go, bruv. I'm just gonna go. So I think he done an edu, but I think that may be because we probably tapped him up. Because let's be real, we're the sporting director since when? November, September, October, something like that, isn't it?
David
and then he leaves in January by mutual consent. I reckon he quit. And I reckon that's because we tapped him up. I think it's all but done, if I'm honest. But if you look at his track record, he's got more wins than losses in terms of signing players. Look at some of the players they've had over the last 12 years. He's been involved in a lot of that. Obviously, he was technical director and then sporting director afterwards. For the last 7 years, he's been sporting director. But I think that's good news. And I think that's somebody that's going to come in and take no shit, really. Obviously, Simeone is a different kettle of fish. Arteta's a rookie. But I think this is only going to be a good thing. And like I said, if you look at the players they've signed, some of the fees they've gotten for, they've got Rodri for 20 million. Villarreal, 20 mil. Now, they brought in Luis Suarez. And they brought in Molina. They brought in loads of good players. We know all the players that play from now. over the last 10 years. Yeah, but yeah, his talent ID is obviously a lot better than ours, because Mikel Arteta loves a Willian and a Marquinhos and players like that. So yeah, Oblak's another one. Look through their team. They got some ballers at that club, man. Obviously, they brought in Julian Alvarez in the summer as well. Conor Gallagher, if you want to put him in there. But yeah, Jez, what do you make of this? Because it's about time for me that I feel like we have to get somebody that's actually top in their field rather than giving it to a rookie or jobs for the boys.
Well, fair enough. I mean, I'd never heard of this guy. I had to actually Google it this afternoon to actually find a little bit of information. From what I can see, from what little I've found out, he looks like a decent person to bring in. My only question is this: knowing how Arteta is, knowing how much unfortunate power Arteta has got at this club, will he get the cob on and cock up this deal? Wouldn't surprise me, guys, because this is the sort of thing Arteta does not want to be challenged. He wants to be the number one, the petulant little child. I don't think he'll accept somebody coming in who's got more knowledge, more experience, probably a stronger character up against a novice, because Arteta will be found out. And I can see it being quite a rocky road. If he does come in, it could be a very good thing. It could be a very good thing that Arteta actually gets exposed for his absolute shit show of what he does in what players we get. I don't know. I mean, if he's this good, this guy, from what the little I know about this from today, I think it's all good. I'm just concerned that Arteta is the sort of little prick, right, that will try and scupper this deal because he has to be Mr. Number One. So we'll wait and see. I hope he does join, and I hope it exposes Arteta for the absolute fraud that he is. So we'll wait and see, guys.
Yeah, I'm an absolute fraud as well, because it's my fault DJB ain't here. I didn't send him the link.
Good start.
Oh dear, what an idiot. What a brat. Anyway, Kenny, what? Go on, Jezza.
No, I was just laughing. I do that.
Yeah, I thought I sent it, but there we go. Kenny, what do you make of this? Obviously, it came out of nowhere, really. I know we see a shortlist last week, but all of a sudden the shortlist has gone from there. So, boom, this looks like it's done.
Well, first and foremost, Matty's going to expand more on this, but me and Matt did have a conversation regarding this very, very appointment. And I've spoke to a guy called Steve from Sydney, Parramatta in Sydney, and he was. We've spoken a lot about this sort of thing as well. For it could have parallels with the last year of Arsene Wenger's reign, in terms of, like, if you remember him in 2017, we appointed Ivan, got in Raul Solani, and he got in Sven Mislintat. Now, these are people that Arsene Wenger never really worked with. And then not only did we have those two appointments, where the culmination with the horrendous style of play, the horrendous results and horrendous morale. Now, a combination of their appointments and horrendous morale, Arsene Wenger was a goner. Now, I'm not saying there's parallels between the both situations. What I will say is that if for the good of the club, I hope it's an appointment that's been made by the board, and that Mikel Arteta has to work with it and has to get with it. Because if it's an appointment that's made by the board, then I want Mikel Arteta undermined. I want Mikel Arteta to go back to being the head coach rather than team manager. I don't want Mikel Arteta to have overall control over football affairs, because he has shown, one, it's too much for him, and two, he hasn't got it right. He has mismanaged the players we've bought. He's created the debate, an adverse debate on Declan Rice that should never have been there in the first place. Kai Havertz is a calamity, and he's got a situation now where there's players who have gone backwards under his management. But the most important thing is his business. the Declan Rice signing and the Kai Havertz signing are going to be on his tombstone if he's not very careful. But what I really, really want is a situation where this guy, with his experience, can identify where things have gone wrong. And I want him, most importantly, to be able to identify the players that we can tap up across the world market. Let's not forget Atletico, Rodri, Partey, Alvarez, Diego Costa was part of that situation, part of that team, and also you've got to look at, like I said, Griezmann, who obviously went to Barcelona, but what I'm talking about is the amount of money and the outlay Atletico got back, and that is just as important as getting, quality players in. But most importantly, is I want someone who's going to be able to work with Mikel, but be in a situation where he's not controlled by Mikel. Because I can't have a situation now where I'm questioning a player's utility like I questioned Declan Rice, where I just call him and Havertz indulgent signings. I've got a theory about Declan Rice, and I'm going to say it now, and this is an exclusive. I would like Declan Rice to be sold. Ooh. Not because I think he's a bad player, but I want to be sold for footballing reasons, because I think the reason why we bought Declan is because Declan isn't the player that we need in this side. He's not the number 6 that we thought we were buying. And he's been forced into the number 8 position, which is not really his positioning. The team midfield's imbalanced. The manager is not able to make a decision. He's caught between two stools. He knows Thomas Partey is a better number 6, but he feels he has to play Declan Rice because of the £100 million that's been spent. And then you've got the Kai Havertz disruption as well, where questions need to be asked. I think people need to put their heads above the parapet and be brave and talk about football questions. And I'm going to ask some bullet points to the panel and to the chat. Bullet point 1: define a number 6 in modern times. Define a CDM and define whether Declan Rice is that player, because a CDM runs the midfield, controls the way we play, can take the ball in a hot turn, can pass through the lines, and can cover positions wide of the pitch. CDMs are not energy-based footballers. They're not players whose strength is to retrieve the ball. They're not people who can take that. That's not a CDM. Number 8s, okay, they're not really players who just concentrate mostly on free kicks. They are box-to-box players. Is Declan either of those midfielders, a number 6 and number 8? If he is, then I take everything back and I stand to be corrected. But I need you guys to go through those bullet points and answer those questions, because it's a very serious matter and it's something that has been on my mind for a long time. Now, Declan Rice has been a fantastic player for this football club. In terms of performances, have been brilliant. But you can play well and still not be right for this team.
Spot on. Yeah, you're right. You can play well and not be right for the team. Me personally, I'd keep him, but if we can get better, get better. Don't care how much we spent on him. Before I bring DJ in, I want to say sorry. I thought I sent you the link and I didn't.
No, that's all right, man. It's all right. It's all been busy.
I'll come back to you, but let me get Matty's thoughts. Matty, obviously, we spoke briefly. You sent me a message, but I was literally just jumping on a stream. That's why I didn't reply. But what have you made of this?
As Kenny stated, we talked earlier this morning. We talked about it.
Big up to Barrow as well. Sorry, mate. Big up to Barrow for that super sticker as well, fella. Bless up, bro. Appreciate it as always, man.
We spoke about a good 45 minutes this morning. And that's why I didn't flinch when he said what he said, because he said it on the phone. So I was kind of like, I knew it was coming. And I'll also add to that, I think we need to look at moving Havertz, and I think Martinelli. Both need to be moved on. This new, if this is true, and this gentleman is coming in, I'll give you an American take from it. I'll tell you the exact same thing I told Kenny this morning. American owners do not like to waste their money. You might get them for a few million, but when you start getting close to $1 billion, trust me, he looked over in the account and noticed the $1 billion was almost out of his account. This manager This is what you're getting ready to see, gentlemen. I take it everybody up here on the panel has seen The Godfather. This is about to be a Godfather moment if this works out. They're bringing him in. He's going to be the gentleman that's going to keep his eye on Mr. Arteta, because this regime has looked and said, well, we've given $800 million. And JB, did I not warn you this? Did I not warn you about this a couple of months ago? I said that they were going to get fed up with it. And now you see they're going for the what are they doing? They're going for the best available sporting director, which is that right there should make everybody sit up and take notice. This gentleman's coming in and he's going to look around and see what can be moved, what can be fixed, and what can be salvaged, because it's his job to get the football club headed in the right direction. That's something that we need. If I, for one, I am jumping for joy. Because this is, if you want Arteta out of here, this is probably one of the quickest ways to get him out of here, because he's going to come in here. And if it's Kenny stated, this is a board hire, the ownership hire, then he's coming in to clean up this mess. You look at his resume. All of the frailties that we struggle with under this manager and Edu, buying quality players when you can still get something out of them. Look at Suarez. Bought him for peanuts, won a title. You look at some of the players he's bought in. Look at Rodri. You saw what he sold for. You know, the man knows what he's doing.
Mate, can I ask you a question? So,
go ahead, brother.
You obviously, fair play, respect. You know a lot more about this than I do. And if it is a board, or if it's a Kroenke's or Josh and the board making this decision, right? And I hope they do. Do you, I mean, you've obviously know a lot more about this. Do you honestly think that Arteta might put his finger in the works and cock it up? Could you see that? I mean, I'm just like, it's a general question, mate.
At this stage, he's messed up so much, Jez. I don't think he even has a say so in it. He might meet the guy on the phone, go to dinner the first night. And after that, that's pretty much about it. I think that January transfer window answered a lot of questions, because we were all saying, you know, we not another red cent, don't spend nothing. And I think the board looked at that situation, looked at what they spent, and I'll keep going back to it. They gave him the money in the summer. You know, you're supposed to be buying a striker, and you saw what he bought. He bought what he's trying to make as a striker. So I think that they're probably going, yeah, we've had enough of this. This is out of control.
I just wonder though, Matty. I mean, I 100% hope this guy comes. I really do hope this. We need somebody to sort this absolute shit show out. My only concern is having known. I mean, Edu obviously got out because he was fed up with Arteta's too much power at the club. I've not seen a fact on that, but that's been bandied about. But my only worry is Arteta. Are the board strong enough? I mean, the board currently, what we've got in Harris, Garlic, and all that lot, Tim Lewis, blah, 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 blah. Are they strong enough? If Arteta goes up there to them and says, look, I don't think this is a good idea. Do you think they're strong enough to stand up to him?
They're going to have to on this.
Good. I hope they do.
They're going to have to on this. And I'll give you something else that should make everybody feel good. This man dealt with Simeone for almost 10, 12 years. He's going to look at Arteta like, what? He's going to swallow him whole. Pause. Super pause. But he's getting ready to drop the hammer on Mr. Arteta, man. And that's exactly what we need. We need somebody that's going to come in here and tell him when he's trying to buy a left back, we need a striker. I'm sorry, Mr. Arteta. You're not buying another left back. We're buying the best available or comparable striker to do what we need done. And that's what we need. So I hope this goes through. I'm excited for one. I hadn't been this excited in quite a while. I can't contain myself. And Kenny heard in my voice earlier. I was literally over the moon. So if this happens, I am sitting back. And I'll tell you what, too. I'll say this in closing. If, in fact, Arteta doesn't like it, you can leave.
Yeah.
Peace out, bro. We got stuff to do over here. We got trophies to win. And if he don't want to be a part of it, he's more than welcome to leave. But this is what this man is being brought in to do: is to sort this stuff out, sort this mess that Edu and Arteta have had. They've had it's like when you leave the kids at the house with the babysitter and you come back and crayon is all over the wall. That's what it's like he's walking into with Arteta. So hopefully this goes through and we can go ahead and start rectifying the mess that this man has created.
Yeah, good.
I totally agree, mate. I totally agree. DJ, like I said, sorry, mate, that I didn't send the link, mate. I forgot.
That's all right, That's all right.
How are you feeling on this? Obviously, Edu's left. We ain't had a sporting director for months, and now all of a sudden, we're getting the ex-Atleti guy.
This is music to my ears. I've always said that this is the most important signing in Arsenal's football club for many, many of years. Forget that we need players and strikers. The signing of the sporting director is the biggest signing of Arsenal Football Club. And I think the owners have looked at this and said, we've given you 5 years, Arteta and Edu. And I think before their ship sinks and the financial crisis closes in, they've got the best in class to come in and ruffle feathers. And I think he's going to come in and he's going to say, this is not working, that's not working, this guy's got to be sold, this one's got to be bought. And it's going to ruffle Arteta up.
It's right. Here's a question for you, man. Do you think, when guys chat, panel, do you think this is possibly a way that the Cronkies are going to ruffle Arteta's feathers so badly that he's going to walk out the door?
I think what this is, I personally think what this is a nice way of seeing how this manager operates, rather than sort of say to him, no more, you're sacked. I think they're bringing this guy in now as like a last ditch, really, and they're going to bring him in.
He's an assassin. That's what.
I think they're going to bring him in, and I think he's going to call out a lot of pitfalls. What's been going on? Because let's face it, this should have been done years ago, and this is the frustrating thing. We've had this process in place that's failed now for 5 years. This sporting director should have been brought in years ago when Edu should never have even been appointed sporting director. Because let's face it, he's gone out the club. But if you look at the signings on the whole that these two guys have made, Edu and Arteta, they've been pretty poor, really poor business. And this guy's now going to come in, and I think he's going to show the fans the state the club's really in, because we've got players that's not improved. Put it this way, Martinelli years ago would probably sell more 3-4 years ago than what he would today. And it's just it's just not been good. So I'm really excited. I mean, this guy's got a good record. You know, the players he's signed. I mean, he bought Suarez back as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
He bought Suarez back, and I think he netted like 38 goals along with Diego Costa. Old Black, the goalkeeper, was his signing.
Carrasco.
David, who was
Thomas Lamar. He actually managed to sign Thomas Lamar.
Yeah. David Villa as well, wasn't it? David Villa as well was his signing.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's been around the block. He's been around the block. This guy knows what he's doing, and I think this is now going to be the slide in Arteta's reign at Arsenal.
Do you know what? I think you're spot on. Right? I'm just looking through. I'm just looking through their wage bill. Excuse me. Samuel Lino is on 20 grand a week.
Bring it up, Lee. Let's see it.
24,000 euros a week. This is their wage bill. Well, that's not obviously their wage bill. What's going on here?
How to loot.
That is obviously not their wage bill. There's their wage bill. Oblak's the highest paid player.
Yeah.
Griezmann's second. And
Exactly.
he's on 240,000 euros a week.
Mm.
That's mad. Look at this, look.
Mm.
Correa's on 60. Oh my days. Really?
Mm.
Molina. These two are ballers, bro.
This guy would not, if this guy was at the club, he would not have given Eddie Nketiah 100 grand a week.
Nah. Sorloff, 120. That's a bargain. 30 million, 120.
Where's this guy coming from, Lee? Out of interest, I don't know.
From Atletico Madrid.
He's still there. He worked. Okay.
No, mutual consent. He left in January.
So,
So
yeah,
He's a free
I
agent
just think-
at the moment, is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just think he's. I think the Cronkies have looked at this and thought, right, we need to act. I'm not going to waste any more money. I can't trust this manager with any more of my money. I need someone in place now to take care of things.
Is
And I
that,
think this is how he's been brought in.
see, I've always had this thought, which is probably bullshit. I've always had this thought that the Cronkies, right, after the summer window, when they gave him the money from the Champions League, 185 million, right? It come to January, and they said, "No, you ain't have no more. Deal with what you got."
That's what I think.
100%.
My theory. My theory.
I honestly think that this guy has not been trusted with. He's not been trusted with any more money, and this is why this guy's got to come in and he's going to take complete control of what goes on.
Do you blame the Cronkies though? You blame the Cronkies.
Do you know what, Kenny? Yeah, who's the guy that came in? Is it Tim Lewis? Which one was it that worked for the Cronkies for like 7 years?
That's
Yeah.
What's that guy's name?
Yeah,
I think it's Tim Lewis. I may be wrong.
So Lewis, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Jeez.
but now check this, right? Vinay's walked out. Edu's walked out. Tim Lewis obviously works with him every day. Yeah, and obviously Garlic and all of that lot. Yeah, I reckon that Tim Lewis was brought in just to like oversee everything. Obviously, he's worked with the Cronkies; they trust him. But I reckon he's a little bit of a little snake for the Cronkies.
Well,
Because it makes sense that Edu's fucked off and left. It makes sense that Vinay's fucked off and left. Why? Because they're getting the ump. That Arteta's got too much power. That would be my guess. I don't know that factually.
Well, 100%. It's got to be that. The
But
fact
now,
is
if we're
that
getting this guy in, that is because he's got too much power first and foremost.
Yeah.
So now Tim Lewis, the little grass to the Cronkies, and said, "No, let's go and get this guy."
yeah, but
Now we take
he's
power
only,
away.
he's
which
only
is what-
doing his job, Lee.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kate, but he's only doing his job because at the end of the day, you've got to look at the situation. If you aggressively go for the league, like we tried to do in January 2023, and we did in 2023, two things will happen. If it's not a success, then the money will get pulled back. Or if it's what they call it, it's only 2 points behind Man City, then they'll think, you know what, you got really close that time. You're good to go. You don't really need no money because you're not too far. And they assessed that Man City, had De Bruyne in his 30s. They'll bring him back Gundogan. That's desperation. Bring back Gundogan. Well, you know what I mean? Where Pep says, "Oh, we're good to go. We don't need to change." They probably looked at that situation. But in terms of like what happened last season, that's a big outlay without success. Any other business, a proper business, would say, "You know what? You're going to have to get some of that money back." And they're probably going to look at the players that we've got in there, and they probably would have wanted a bigger name than Smith Rowe. They probably wanted a bigger name than Nketiah, and they probably wanted a bigger name. They probably wanted a big name rather than Reece Nelson alone. But they didn't get it because they must have fought to keep some of these players. This season, he's not going to have a choice. No matter, he's going to have to sell big whether he likes it or not, and that's where the problems are going to lie. Where his indulgent signings are going to have to be questioned.
Yeah.
And that's where a domino effect happens. Managers leave, and you know what they always do. The old rubbish. Oh, there used to be a football club over there. They brought someone in, and he undermined me. We know this story's coming.
Yeah.
It's not going to work. It's going to work for the football club. It's not going to work for Arteta.
No.
Arteta's position is untenable whether he likes it or not. We've seen this happen so much in football. The minute a new person comes into a football club, could be a Tim Lewis or could be this new guy if we get him. Either way, Arteta's undermined. And if he's undermined and loses the small battles, trust me, eventually he'll lose the war. And that's what happens in football. You can't have a manager in a football club for 6 years not winning anything without the board asking questions. They need to know results.
Facts.
Is this the snide way? We know how business works. Come on, we're all old enough and ugly enough.
Yeah, maybe he can bring Simeone with him.
That's part of it. I told Ken that.
He'd bring it. You know, this is the dark arts of the Cronky saying.
Yeah, I think it is, Jez. That's what I said. That's what I said earlier on. I think it's a kind of business-like, ruthless way of bringing in someone with vast experience and knowledge in this field to actually find out whether this man can actually punch above his weight, manage the club and work alongside him. And if he can't, I think it's then, right, okay, we've given you 5 years. We've given you XYZ amount of pounds to spend. We've brought in one of the best directors in the game with a proven track record. You've still failed. See you later. And I think that they are ticking all the boxes in preparation to get rid of this man. I think they've suddenly realised that 5 years without a major trophy is enough with the amount of money they've spent.
He's on his last leg. He's on his last leg. This is no different than when we're all on the job, and you got an employee that's been habitually late or messed up on the job, and you keep writing them up. There comes a point where the write-ups just you got to go.
I'm just wondering if the Saliba deal now might get put on hold, because apparently the club was in talks with offering him a new £250,000 a week contract and everything else. All these deals now that were in the pipeline might get put on hold until this guy comes in.
Do you think, though, guys, this is also, I'm just thinking ahead, right? If this guy does join, if he does, right, do you think there's also a phase two? No, take away phase two. Let's think of another. Let's think of another analogy. Do you think sneakily behind the scenes, right? If this fella comes in and Arteta basically gets undermined, and he's like gets the ump, right? That they've already in the background, this guy is saying, well, if it don't work, I'm going to give you a report on what's gone wrong, what needs to be done, how we need to improve it, and this is the man you need to bring the club further forward.
Kenny, that's word for word what I told you this morning. Is that word for word what I told you this morning? Word for word what I said this morning is going to happen.
That's what you said to me earlier, isn't it? That's how it works in football. The fact is that he, with his experience of football, he will know the kind of players with the personnel we're going to need, especially managers and players. You'll have contacts. But the thing about it is that the healthy thing is, it's not us just saying it. No. Because you can't rely on fans on social media to, like I said, spell out their discontent. Because, as I said many a times, social media only covers 0.1% of the fan base. But where we could be asking questions is the fans who call in on 5 Live and Talk Sport. We've had a few people now call Talk Sport, which is probably the most controversial radio station out there. It's not funded by taxpayers' money. It's funded by private companies. Fans are calling into the football club, and they are demanding that Mikel Arteta be replaced. So that is in terms of like the club moving forward, that's more healthy than what we're doing, because simple reason is that no one's singling us out as being the bad guys, that we're in the minority. The more fans who can actually get above the parapet, they're not social media people, i.e. people with YouTube channels. It's someone who's independent from being independent from the influence of social media, independent from the influence of what they see on Sky Sports. Is a guy who either watches us week in, week out, but can't afford to go every game, or the guy goes every game and is just coming up and saying, look, I'm not happy, I want change. And this is where the situation is, because we're now seeing people on the BBC, on Sky Sports and TNT defending Mick Arteta. But they're not defending them from us. They're defending it from members of the public who've got their own voice. And the more people we can get who can have their own voice, the more Mick Arteta can be held to account, the more he can be under pressure. He is under pressure now because of these situations. When the media have to defend you and say it's ludicrous that Mick Arteta should be sacked, the ball's rolling now to get our own man in.
Yeah. I just think this is a great move, man. I feel confident about this, and I think that this is going to smother the fire of Arteta just running around doing whatever he's doing. Somebody in the chat alluded to it. Perfect analogy. It's an internal audit. This is exactly what this is.
100%.
Yep, this is an inventory check. They're coming in checking. This is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong.
It's a business reshuffle. It's a business reshuffle. That's what it is. The frustrating thing from an Arsenal fan point of view is that when this guy took over, we was told it was a 5-year process. We was told it was a process. It was a process. Now, years on, it's never really been a process. It's been an absolute kind of mess, really. All right, we've finished second and we've finished runners up. But let's face it, we are, as I said, it's not really been a process. The only process probably you could say may have been successful is commercially.
Yeah.
Merchandise, filling the stadium, selling the tickets.
Mate, is it?
Global. No, it wasn't probably Arteta, but what I'm saying is globally, on a global scale, selling tickets, merchandise, that kind of thing. You might turn around and say, well, that part of the process has probably worked.
It's a con, isn't it? It's a con, DJB. You think about it. I was on a show with Deludi Guna, and I was talking about the situation, how matchday revenue, we're making a lot of money in matchday revenue. And I don't want to insult anyone in this, but I'm just using my eyes. When I go to games, if you go to like the club shop, the Armoury, before matches is absolutely packed.
Oh, yeah, it's rammed. Absolutely.
After
where the process, Kenny, has succeeded.
Yeah, but it extends even further.
The pitch.
It extends even further. Do you generally believe the Arsenal Football Club are invested in women's football as they think, or are they saying, or is it a business opportunity to have the women play at the Emirates Stadium in order that not only they fill in the stadium, the Armoury gets filled before and after games, because every home game I've been to, the turnover from the Armoury alone must be off the scale. So the more matches you have at the Emirates, and because when I go into the Armoury to keep warm, and I generally go to keep warm, I don't see as much merchandise of the women, of the ladies.
No,
there's probably about 95% of the male players, only 5% of the ladies, and the ladies' teams an afterthought. So this process is entwined with them using their common sense. Said we need to have more matches at the Emirates. You think about COVID, how much money we lost during COVID. More matches. Let's get the women. Let's have Arsenal ladies versus Liverpool ladies. Let's have Arsenal ladies versus top. I'm beginning to notice that a bit. Have you begun to notice the amount?
Yeah, that's what it's all about. I mean, look at the stadium tours that get booked in that Armoury on a match day. Stadium tours alone. I mean, honestly, guys, it's hundred. I mean, we're talking thousands of stadium tour tickets get sold on one match day. Thousands. So if you look at the process through that, it's been probably successful. But this guy coming in now, he'll obviously have an hand in that and keep all that, that part of it, whatever. But on the whole, he has come in because I believe that they've gone probably to one of the best in class, and thought the owners have gone enough. I've spent a lot of my money, and I just can't carry on down this road. And as I said, I think he's going to ruffle feathers. And Arteta, he's either going to stick or twist, guys. He's either going to stick or twist.
The sale of at the Armory and all that stadium tours and dropping merch. That's all marketing. That's nothing to do with Arteta. That's the club.
Oh, no.
That's the marketing side of it.
No.
I'm not saying I agree with it.
No.
That is, I mean, we all know that's where big money can, and it's don't forget that Armory is shipping out shirts and God knows what all around to America, Africa, Japan, God knows where else.
But the stadium's selling out and everything else like that, and getting the fans getting people in the stadium, whether it be, your regular fans. And
I'm just gonna this comment here from whatever Zen Musty. You're talking rubbish, mate. The results on the pitch have no relation with commercial because people will buy it come what may. Because people who can't get to games, right, around the world, America, Africa, Nigeria, God knows where, they will buy it. Regardless of the results. We could get stuff by Tottenham 6-0 and people around the world will still buy it. That's business. Yeah. That is purely marketing. I run my own business. I know how it works, right? They'll still buy it. Regardless. If we ended up in the championship next season, right, people will still buy it.
Yeah.
That is their relation to the club.
Exactly. That's a point. That's a great point because everyone wants that sort of. The closest thing you can get to match day is watching it on TV. But another close way you can have a relationship is to buy the colours. It's the merchandise. It's there. No matter how many times you try to talk people out of it, it's what they like. The new shirt's always going to sell. Doesn't matter whether I think it's immoral to change your kit every season. People are going to buy it. Trust me. There's no doubt, but that if we go by the law of averages, next season we're going to have a new kit and we're going to be playing in white socks because that's what we all do. 1 year it's red socks, then it's white socks. So next season, 25-26 is white socks, and then obviously we'll get back red socks. But whatever happens, the Army's going to be full.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter who's in charge. That's a fact. But this guy, I'm really excited. I hope all this goes through. To me, it's going to be a one of, and not only that, this guy will probably, if he comes in, he'll probably outstay Arteta, because let's say Arteta stays. What are we looking at? 2 or 3 seasons, but this guy will still be here. So he's laying the foundations for the next manager to come in. That's what he's doing. It's a long-term process now. Again, another rebuild. We've had two rebuilds within this process.
I'd rather have this rebuild than the other one.
Exactly. And that's what he's doing. Did you
start the process again with a new man? Because the thing is, we're talking about cycles of time for a manager. You think about that even the most successful managers haven't lasted as long as Mikel Arteta. Look at Ancelotti, what he's won. Look at what Ancelotti's won at Real Madrid. He's only been there since August 2021. He left Everton, went straight to Real Madrid, and he's been there 3 years. Now, it's highly likely this could be his last season, regardless of whether they win the Champions League or La Liga or not, because of the high turnover cycle. And I'm looking at Mikel Arteta, and I'm saying, even if he did win your trophy here or there, in modern football, it's very unique for someone to be in that job for about 6 or 7 years. And you talk about a 5-year process. That's about. Well, he's been here since December 2019. It's going to be 5.5 years in June. So when you think about it, it's no longer. Surely it shouldn't be his process no more, on the basis that.
No, it should be.
We've gone through a cycle change. He hasn't delivered trophies. On the kind of common sense numbers point of view, he should be moved on.
Yeah, it's time for him to. Like I said, if he comes in and we have to restart the process with him, I feel better having a serious sporting director as opposed to having a novice. Now, if we were talking about Jason Ato today, then I'd be, I'd be on top of my head. But you're talking about a gentleman who has a track record of bringing in talent, dealing with a world-class manager, and setting up Athletic over a 10-year period to do what they've done, and we all know that they where they've been and what they've done. So I feel really good about this. Like I said, if anything, it's closer to Arteta getting closer to the door if he can't shut his mouth and do what he's supposed to do.
Absolutely, yeah. It's sink or swim for him now. I think if he comes in, it's sink or swim for Arteta. He either goes with it and concentrates on coaching and getting the best out of players, or he goes. There's no second chance.
Really. This guy coming in. I mean, I don't know. Does anybody know what's the likelihood?
It's speculation, really.
It's pretty much done though. I think. I don't think Fabrizio would have put that out there. Like, listen, Fabrizio's got a lot of fucking shit wrong, but fuck's sake, this beer's overflowing. I put it in the freezer too long. Bear with me. Hold that thought.
Yeah, but you think about the situation is that you never know what happens. And things happen at 11th hour, isn't it? How many times have we looked like we're going to sign a player at 11th hour? Someone else pitches in. Yeah, it happens with this kind of job. But the situation is we're only going to really, really see the fruits of his labour at the end of 2026. That's if he's given the job. That's what. But the fact is, what we want is if disappointment happens, we want it to be not just halfway. We want full change. We want a new, guys the head of the footballing operations and a new coach, and not this time. No. Let's move the times and not have a team manager. Let's have a head coach. Let's not go all Rafa Benitez at Liverpool. What he did at Liverpool, where he wanted all over control. He wanted to have the say in everything. He fell out of people. Look what happened. In the end, he had to go, and that's what happens in football. Kevin Keegan. You go back nearly 30 years. Kevin Keegan at Newcastle. Now you compare the amount of money Kevin Keegan was given in 1996. Now that's 60 million. Now that's pocket money now. But in 1996, that's a lot of money. Look what Newcastle did to Kevin Keegan when he weren't winning things. They floated them the club out to the City of London. They got a new director in. Knew full well it wasn't that Kevin Keegan, but this time they weren't going to let it wasn't going to be a one-way Kevin. If Kevin doesn't get his own way, I'm going to leave. The guy actually had the audacity to go to Kevin Keegan and said, mate, if you don't sign this, NDA, you're out. And Kevin Keegan went, I'm not signing it. And he thought that the big boys, Douglas Hall and, who's the other guy that was the other guy who's his name will come back to me. Either way, he thought they were going to side with him, but they didn't. They sided with the sporting director, and Kevin Keegan had to leave. And that's what happens in football. Every time a manager thinks he's an overall control, he doesn't cooperate and move with the times, he's gone. So Alex Ferguson stayed in his job at Man United because he accepted his situation. He got bought out. He got bought by the Glazers, hence the fact that he was able to scam a job for 10 years after he left.
Yeah, spot on. Listen, in answer to your question, Jez, sorry about that. I was having a bit of a nightmare. In answer to your question, I think it's done. It's not been officially announced, but I actually do think it's done. Yeah, and the reason I say that, it's not because I actually want it to happen, because Fabrizio does get a lot of things wrong, especially when it comes to transfers. But normally the sporting directors and hierarchy is normally pretty spot on. So, and the thing is as well, the fact that the guy left Atleti in January by mutual consent, and we haven't had a sporting director for months. I reckon that we tapped him up, like I said earlier. I reckon we tapped this geezer up. And I reckon he's just thought, I've done a decade or so at fucking Atleti. They need a new guy. Cool, I'll go there then. Yeah, and I think it's...
Do you reckon behind the scenes, though, dark arts, like proper dark arts, SAS stuff, sniping, right? Do you reckon that this guy coming in might already have, like, in his kit bag, right? Yeah, if I find out all the shit, yeah, I'm bringing this man in. Start the season.
Do you know what? I don't think they're looking to sack Arteta, right? But at the same time, I don't think they're overly happy. I think they're happy to a certain degree. We know they don't want to win fuck all, so they're happy he's getting them in the Champions League. But I think that they've had a look at how this season's gone, even before January. Yeah, because let's be real, we only had 50% win record after about 15 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they expected a lot more than that. We were 9 points off the top at that point.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, it's not been great. And like, yes, obviously they don't really care about winning. But when you've been that close, like, it's a bit of an embarrassment, isn't it? Especially for a billionaire.
I think they gave him the benefit of the doubt last season, but I think, as Lee just stated, I think they were embarrassed having been 8 points clear. I don't care what they don't know about football.
Sorry to cut him, mate. Why do you think they gave him a new deal? Because that still baffles me as to why they gave him that big contract.
Because they probably, well, I want to say that we'll get more with this Edu thing once he decides to tell his story. But I think there was probably rocky ice there toward possibly even last year. So they may have already kind of looked around, because as somebody just stated that, tapped them. It was you said tapped them up. So they would have had to have had some idea of what they were looking for and who they wanted to go towards. So I just think that they gave him the deal. Well, as I told y'all before, the man can walk. I know they gave him the deal, but the man can walk. And now it's getting closer and closer to where it's like, yeah, buddy, if you don't get in line now, guess what he's gonna do? He's gonna walk.
Can you imagine, Matt? Can you imagine?
Sorry, Jezza, 1 sec. Big up Said for the raid. Bless up to everyone who's come over from the raid. There's 1,500 in here as well now. Get these likes up and sub to all the lads. The links are pinned. Go on, Jez. Sorry.
No, I'm just going to say, if it is sneaky working behind the scenes here, which I hope it is, I seriously do, because that's what this clown deserves. Can you imagine the meltdown, right? The day that Arteta is binned or he leaves.
Oh, it's going to be glorious. I can't wait.
You might as well, AFTV may as well just close the doors, turn the cameras off, sack everybody and say, that's it, boys.
Yeah. Just shut up.
Yeah, shut it off.
Can you imagine it? Jesus Christ.
Do you know what, though, right? They've got so emotionally invested in this manager, this fan base, that they won't back the next manager. I've seen this story as well. Like, we've seen it. DJ Kenny, Matty, Jez, they weren't backing that manager, Emery. They weren't backing him, and especially in the crowd as well. Like, maybe some, like, a lot online were. All the ones that pretty much all the ones, not all of them, but a large percentage of the ones that wanted Wenger sacked, we're straight on it with Unai. Like, come on, let's get behind this guy now. Pause.
They couldn't wait. They couldn't wait.
For the first bad result, they were on him. From Man City at home, they were on his case. Yeah. Then we played Chelsea away and we lost 3-2. I think Marcus Alonso scored. We missed sitter after sitter in that game as well. Yeah. Then we scrambled past West Ham, and that was the start of a 22 unbeaten. Even during that 22 unbeaten, we slapped a few teams up in that, but they still weren't happy with him. Didn't want him. But then this guy comes in, and they've just fallen in love with him because they want it to be another love story. They want it to be another Wenger. Look, this guy in Japan, nobody had heard of him before, really. He's come in, it's Arsene who he's took us into being the greatest team, invincibles, all of this and this. They want that with Arteta. And this is why I didn't want anyone that played for this fucking club managing it. It's like, no, none of that. Somebody said to me yesterday, what about Cesc? I said, I think he'll be a good coach. We better not rattle Kenny here. I said, I think he'll be a good coach. And I said, I don't want him anywhere near Arsenal, even if he's a good coach.
That man will never get a job at this club. I will not allow it. I'll cause all the greatest trouble. I'll make sure that the only thing
have a season ticket
I'll still
we'll still go. He'll go and make it a one-man protest.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what though? Another good thing about this man coming in, he's got a lot of respect from a lot of top managers in
Not
football.
even just top managers, like top hierarchy.
Yeah, he's got a lot of respect.
When we go in with Edu and fucking try and do a deal with Edu and Tim Lewis and
exactly. I was just going to say, any decent manager coming in with this sporting director, if it goes on, we've got a better chance at Arsenal Football Club of capturing a top manager with this guy in place. And I think that's another reason why the owners are taking him on board, because they're looking at it long term. It might be, it might be a sort of short term thing with Arteta. So I think long term they're thinking, right, get this man in. He knows his stuff. He doesn't only know his stuff, he's respected by top coaches in the football world. So it will make the next appointment for the manager, and he will probably have a big say in that as well, a lot easier. You
know what, man? I think that this solves a lot of problems. And JB here is something that, you look at how many times have we seen deals collapse?
How many times do we go in for and it's a bidding war and we always come out without winning it?
Or we wait until the last 2 weeks of July to start looking for players.
Yeah, exactly. Or we go and panic buy on deadline day somebody for ridiculous fucking money.
Exactly. But Lee, I want to pick up on what you said earlier on about the deal being done way back when. This is why I think this man wasn't allowed to spend in January.
Yeah.
Because I think that they've already tapped this sporting director up. They'd already tapped him up, and they've probably said to Arteta, there's no more money for you because this is what we're planning to do.
And that's why he's been so fucking agitated in press conferences.
Exactly. And that's why he's been on the back foot in press conferences, because they've probably said to him, we're waiting for our man to come in. And until then, there's no money available. And that's why he's edgy. And that's why he's a little bit short-tempered.
Yeah.
And this is what it's all about.
Because he hasn't been like that, even when the pressure's been on him, even after like going 1 win in 11 and shit like that before.
Basically,
he's always sat there with a grin on his face, like fucking, oh, I'm the man. I know I'm not getting sacked.
Yeah, no, he's been told
this season.
He's been told
left, mate, he's been fucking on the ropes.
Yeah, he's been told you've had the money. We're not tolerating it anymore. You're not having any more money. We've got our new man coming in. He was already probably interviewed and spoken about way back when Edu left. And Arteta's had his collar felt. And that's why he's like he is.
Let me just grab this super chat. Sorry, mate. It's a bit Rudy. Bless up to you, bro. Rudy Joseph. I'm sorry, I've only just seen this, mate. It's been there ages as well. But it said 800 million spent without a trophy will mess with the owner's ego. And they don't want to be the ones spending $1 billion with no success. Yeah, that's true. And this is the thing, like billionaires, it's all an ego and a status thing with these billionaires. Yeah, like when you're 8 points clear and you don't win it, and then you don't win it again the following year on deadline day, last day of the season, and then you're miles behind now, they're probably getting laughed at, and they don't like that.
I told you, Bowley is left when we bought that title 8 points. I guarantee you, they was out on the golf course and said, "Damn, Stan, you spent that much money and you couldn't get over the line. Yeah, you got going on over there."
Yeah,
I guarantee these billionaires poke fun at the Cronkies. And then this year, say, "Damn, man, you spent $1 billion and you can't even 13 points behind the team. Wow, what a move!"
And what's made it worse is Liverpool walking the league this season, hardly spending a bean
with a brand new fucking manager
in the league. Yeah. Suddenly, these Cronkies and Bowleys have gone, whoa, hang on a minute.
Yeah,
who's this guy's just walked in? Liverpool's not spent a penny, and they've got the league and the parade booked by February.
It's mad, isn't it? Do you know what? It makes sense. Sorry, Kenny. It makes sense here. The fact that Vinay quit, Edu quit, and this manager's been on the ropes.
Yeah.
And now this guy's coming in. Yeah. And Liverpool are walking it. It all lines up. It all makes sense.
It's all a spin though. It's all like the magic roundabout. It's how you want to spin it. People we're going to see it for what it is, but people who are massive Arteta fans are going to see this as a positive. That because at the end of the day, let's not forget the reason why we're in the position we are in now. To a lot of people, was that Arteta was sold down the river by the board. He was knifed in the back. They wouldn't give him no money. It's never him. As I said before, take all the credit, but none of the blame, no accountability for this man. And I think that's the whole situation as it is that this guy has to be for the good of the football club, a club appointment. It has to be that, because if he's anything other than that, then we're no better than we are to now. And in terms of like the Liverpool situation, you haven't seen anything yet. I think the biggest gift Arsenal got coming into the fixtures is that the possibility of Chelsea, Fulham, or Crystal Palace getting into the semi-finals of the FA Cup, because if they're one of them in the semi-finals of the FA Cup, and obviously one of them are going to be in the semi-finals of the FA Cup, I think our games will be more relaxed and less intense, because they're going to think, don't want to get injured, mate. Could miss out on a Wembley appearance. Could miss out on a cup final. But if one of them get knocked out, we play them. As crap as we are now, we're going to struggle. I look at our last few home games, all London derbies, and I'm thinking, you know what, we're there for the taking, mate.
Yeah, if we get knocked out, by next Wednesday, mate, they're done. They'll struggle to win another game. Kenny, do you want to correct this fella in the chat? Because I've seen him put enough bullshit comments in. Because he's obviously a troll.
Who is it?
That's Pete Hayward. Do you want to correct him on what Fergie won at Man United, Kenny, from 86 to 92?
Well, between 1986, Fergie, between 86 and 92, Sir Alex Ferguson won 4 trophies. He won the league, the FA Cup in 1990. In 1991, he won the Cup Winners' Cup, and in 1992, he won the League Cup, and he finished runners-up. So, where are you coming with saying that he hasn't won anything? I think you're a bit mistaken there. Sir Alex Ferguson may not have had the team, but the fact is that after 92, what did he do afterwards? But the reason why he was given that chance in 93 to win the league is because of what he proved. Not only that he can win trophies at Aberdeen, but the fruit was becoming ripe because of those trophies. So I'm sorry, mate. Don't compare the greatest managers of all time to Mick Arteta, a novice. The greatest manager of all time won things in Scotland at Aberdeen. He broke the duopoly of Celtic and Rangers, which is very hard to do. And he beat them comfortably home and away. You watch the Scottish Cup finals in the 80s. Who were Aberdeen cooking? Rangers or Celtic? So
who did they cook in the fucking Cup Winners' Cup final, Kenny?
Yeah, exactly. Real Madrid.
Real Madrid. Aberdeen have won 4 league titles in their entire existence. He won 3 of them.
Don't compare. And another thing as well, if you want to look at the situation and take it back to modern times, I'll say one thing and one thing only. What was good in the 80s, where we never had a chance of winning trophies and we were happy with just the European places, it's now changed now. You can't win the double, 2 doubles, and invincible, and dominate the FA Cup like we did, and then expect to go back to in my day we didn't win anything. Because there was one prat who was in the comments on Dan's channel. His name is something Paniatu. He's been supporting Arsenal since 1973. He says we're ungrateful. Well, Mr. Paniatu, you may have been there in the 80s, mate, slacking and being happy with European places, but there's a thing called a genie and a bottle. And you can't put a genie back in a bottle. So move the times or buzz off.
Tell him, Kenny. Tell him. Let me grab these super chats.
Pork chops, mate.
Big up Tony Woodcock, legend. Proper legend. He's got a picture of me morphed with Mikel Arteta. That's hilarious. What Bert's spent since his last trophy, 2021, is 250 to 300 million. He's won fuck all since. Should fit right in at Arsenal, another serial loser. To be fair, they are on for a treble. But I agree, not him, but Simeone should have been sacked at the end of last season. 2 years without a trophy should be sacked.
The thing is that he's got genuine credit at the back.
Exactly.
You think about it, you may look at it. Not only he covers all purposes, though. He's made a shed load of money by turning players into world-class operators and making a lot of money for Atletico Madrid. So if he doesn't win the La Liga and he doesn't get the European Cup finals, he's useful in all things. He's probably going to get another player and turn into a gem, and Atletico make another 80 million.
Well, look what
That's
he's
his
done
job
to
at the moment. It's
Yeah,
to
look what he's done to Alvarez. Alvarez has bagged about 20 odd fucking goals this season.
Yeah.
I mean, he's turned Griezmann's career back on track as well. I mean, Griezmann is playing well for under this guy.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
and he's what, 33, 34, Griezmann?
How many?
Thomas Partey, Rodri, the alleged best player in the world,
There's loads, man. Shitloads
was
of
under his
these
guidance.
But the thing is as well, yeah, is like at Leeds, like they sell extremely well, and that's something that we don't. Like they've spent a fuck ton of money in the last 10 years, but they've recouped nearly all of it. I think like the last time I looked, I'll Google it in a second. Last time I looked, I think they'd spent 1.6 billion. They've recouped like 900 million. Yeah, so like when you look at us, we're spending that much money and recouping fuck all. So hopefully he's going to be able to get rid of some of these players for top dollar.
This is the problem I would like to have a trophy with money spent. Now look, this is right on par with Arteta. 200.
Yeah.
This is right on par with Arteta, except the trophy ain't there. Nothing's there.
But surely this guy, with his experience, that you guys know better than me about this, because I don't. Surely this guy's experience, knowledge of working with Letty and all this, he will be able to negotiate far better deals than Edu. I don't think Edu, honestly, had the experience.
No.
I think he was a novice, like Arteta, right? And it got too deep for him, and he effed off. He got a better offer, probably out of the limelight a little bit. We know the history of Edu, what his work track record is. We've seen the CV. This guy, from what I can see, what you guys are telling me, he will be able to do deals. If there's a shopping list, he'll do the deals far better. I don't know. I might be wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, if you're going into a boardroom to try and close a deal for Declan Rice, do you think we're paying 100 million if he's the sporting director? Because I don't think we are. Yeah, because he'll just go, yo, hold the fuck up. We're Arsenal Football Club, mate. Yeah, and he'll know how to negotiate a deal that'll be maybe 75, 80, 90. There's no way we would have paid 100 million quid if we had somebody that knew what they were doing.
No.
Yeah, and if they didn't want to budge on the 100 million, we wouldn't have signed him.
Can't have
we would have got someone else. There's ain't no way we would have bought him.
Trust me, West Ham pulled our pants down, and they even had the audacity to ask for another 10 million on top of the money we paid them.
And then our fans were writing out fucking letters saying, "Can we get a GoFundMe page up and pay you more?"
A good signing under the right manager, though, Kenny. I
He will be. The problem with Declan Rice is, as I said before, the football. There's not a problem with him as a player, but again, where do you play? What is he good at? Where does he play?
He's going to be playing centre back when Saliba leaves.
You don't pay £100 million for a centre back.
We're paying 100 million quid for a corner taker.
But then a decent coach would get the best out of Declan Rice in any position, wouldn't they? You know, he would excel. I mean, look at West Ham. They weren't blessed with top coaches, but he was a baller for them, wasn't he?
Yeah, but can a decent coach turn someone into a genuine number 8 or a genuine number 6? Can a decent coach do that?
I think they can.
A decent coach can get a player to do an effective job in them areas. I would have thought so. You know,
how can if you're a good coach, this is what I was arguing with Said about earlier. If you're a good coach, you're supposed to improve players. And if that means changing their position and moving them around, and you think that they can play better there than they can there, we see Arsene Wenger do this all the time. He used to get a player in and go, right, well, you're not playing there anymore. This is your position. He'd make them good. If you can coach them and put a team around them.
For ages, and I think Kenny brought this up on one of the streams that I was with him not so long ago. He said, like, why don't he move Odegaard from a 10 into the 8 and play Ranieri?
Which is his fucking position. It's his actual position, isn't it?
Put Odegaard in the 8, put Ranieri in the 10, and have Declan Rice sitting.
Yeah.
And then, especially now we've got nothing going forward, that will allow Ranieri to sort of, be in a more advanced attacking positions.
And he won't be just hugging out on the right-hand side.
He won't do it. He just won't budge from all of this. And this is what I'm trying to say. He just won't. He won't experiment with anything.
He ain't going to be here much longer, hopefully, man. Big up to Alfie, bro. Wish Bakake Sangnang. Is that right, mate? Bro, that comment killed me the other day, I swear. Anyone who ain't seen that, Yeah, no, and fucking the way a gal said his name, I was in tears, bro. Yeah, I was in tears. Yeah, big up to you, Alfie, man. Big up to Riku. This is a smoke screen where Zicky's getting the job.
Oh no, don't.
Yeah, don't wind us up, Riku, man.
That's
Come on.
what'll happen. That is what'll happen.
That's an emergency stream. That is an emergency. That's a 15-hour emergency stream if that happens.
Well, that might be the first 24-hour stream.
What's Thomas done, though? What has he actually done in that situation?
The same thing I did.
Where is he? Zagreb, isn't he?
The same thing I did as sporting director.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we missed out on, don't we? I said it on Dan's show. I might as well say it here because this is no old spard. Missed out on Marky Overmars.
Yeah, but he was never going to get the job after doing what he did with the old text messages and all of that. Do you know what I mean? It's fucking. If you know, you know, Kenny. Kenny didn't know, did he? Or maybe he does. And he's just trying to be cheeky.
Of course, I knew what Marky did. Hey, Marky did.
He's been cancelled, Kenny.
Kenny, get your Cess t-shirt. Go on, because he's coming.
He'll be
I'm not looking at it, some capacity, mate.
I'll give you guys something. If I took away my biased view of Cesc Fabregas, when he speaks about football, it's very, very impressive.
Yeah,
extremely impressive. And then I get really drawn in, and I thought that bastard fucking went and played Grand Prix when we were playing Fulham away. That bastard didn't need to move to Barcelona.
I love Cesc,
shit in 2020, 2011, 2012. And I forget about the clinic, the footballing clinic I was listening to.
You're crazy, Kenny.
He's definitely better. He's definitely a better coach.
His football's better.
Yeah, I would say he applies practical knowledge to the game, whereas, like I said, Arteta's are all theory. But he actually, and
I've got another one of his crimes, but I'll blame Puyol for it. Remember when Spain won the World Cup when they were trying to put a Barcelona shirt on him?
Yeah, but come on, when you've got the whole squad around you, Kenny, and like you're on stage and you've just won the World Cup. Yeah, like you can't fight them all off.
Don't get wrong.
He didn't want to pull it on. Let's be real.
I have no problem.
He didn't. He would have. He probably would have worn it, but he wouldn't have done that publicly.
You know the thing about me is that I'm the first person to beat the club up when they deserve to be beaten up, because I've got no problem. You know, if a dog behaves badly, you give it a little smack. You know what I mean? But I'm not calling the club a dog. But what I'm trying to say is that well, they behave like dogs sometimes when it comes to money. But in terms of like Ashley Cole, Cesc Fabregas, Robin van Persie, you know, way William Gage, behaves. I have no problem with their reasoning. It had to be done. The club was not built to win trophies. The club had no ambition of winning trophies, but it's how you behave. And Ashley Cole, there were extenuating circumstances. David Dean was just being an absolute pork chop and the biggest liar of them all, and sold him down the river. I mean, who reports your own player to the FA? Who does that? That's a bitch move. In terms of like RVP, again, no problem that you leave him, but how you done it, I didn't like it. I don't care whether you join Man United or not.
What about
Cesc Fabregas, treachery on all things. Fulham. Not refusing to train, and then when you're being tapped up by Mourinho, and then when you agree to go to Chelsea, rather than accept and say, look, the best manager in world football came and tapped me up and I'm going to Chelsea because I want to win trophies, you blame the football club and said it was our fault for not taking option on you. I mean, I've never seen more bullshit than when I was last time I went on a farm.
Hey, what about Laurent Koscielny, man?
Laurent Koscielny, he's already a legend. In fact, I mean, he stopped being a legend when he let Obafemi Martins, who's about 45, score that winner against Birmingham.
I love fucking with Kitty, man. Kitty hot.
Kenny, you're mad. You're crazy. I fear for Cesc if ever you bump into him, mate. Big up to Lawrence Emmanuel. This news about Berta has not changed my opinion on Arteta. If he doesn't win the Champions League, I want him out. Same. We ain't winning this. We might as well just get rid of him. Just get rid of him. Bless up to you, bro. Big up Tim's. My two dons in my profile. Simeone and Berta. Yes, go on, Tims. Go on, Tims. Tims ain't being a mutant today, winding me up. He's being nice today. It's a happy day. Remember this day, guys. It's 3rd of the 3rd, 25 at 27 minutes past 8 in Spain. Tims, come on, well done, mate. Big up to you, bro. Big up Gun Down UK as well. 24-hour stream when Arteta gets sacked.
Oh,
Yes, that'd be lovely. Well, maybe not 24 hours, but it'd be a long stream. That day would be glorious. I can't lie. But yeah,
Hey,
I'm looking forward to this.
How many podcasts were there when Wenger got sacked?
How many podcasts when he got sacked?
In fact, where were you guys? Where were you guys when Wenger got the sack?
I know exactly where I was. I know exactly where I was. I was in Stony Stratford in Milton Keynes. Yeah, I was outside the Bakers. Yeah. And I got the text.
I was working.
I was actually in New York.
I was at work.
Nice.
Yeah, I was at work. Yeah,
I was skiving from working. I was standing outside the butcher's.
Second question is: how many of you actually thought it was a wind up?
Well, the thing is, Kenny, yeah, my phone was going mad. Yeah, and you know, I just ignore everyone most of the time, right? And then I got a text from my dad. I thought, well, I better not ignore my dad. It might be important. Yeah, so he said, yeah, Wenger's finally fucked off then. I was like, then I see all the other texts. I was like, hey, well, it must be true then. Then I went running back to the car, put TalkSport on. Yeah, and it was like breaking news everywhere. I was like, oh my God. And then I did a video in the car. That was Datsun Diaries, bro. The Datsun days. Like, you know what I mean?
It made one of the main news at News at 10, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's how big it was.
I thought it was a wind up. I got a message come through from somebody over here, and he said, "Hey, Jez, you see this? Wenger's been, he's going." And I texted him back saying, "Yeah, don't take the piss, mate. I'm having a great time. Don't wind me up." And he was like, "Yeah, he's going." I said, No. I said, that would make my day if he's going. And he went, "He's going." And I being over there, it wasn't breaking news in the States at the time, obviously. And I was trying to find, like, scrambling through, trying to see where it was. Eventually, 3 hours later, it came through on my phone that Wenger was apparently resigned, was the term.
Yes.
Yeah.
I worked round the corner from the Emirates Stadium while I was at the office, and obviously I couldn't leave my desk to go and look at the commotion because of the fact that I run the office, so I couldn't leave. But one guy screamed around the office, "Arsene Wenger's leaving Arsenal," and I love him. I know you watch this show, but Hassie, sometimes you tell stories that are so tall that you put Jack in the Beanstalk out of business.
Oh, hell.
So I said to Hassie, "Come on, is this one of your tall stories?" And another guy, "No, Ken, it's on BBC. It's on BBC Online. He's been sacked. He's gone. He's gone." And I couldn't work for the day. I have to admit, my work got affected because I couldn't work because I couldn't concentrate. You know, I didn't know whether, because when you want something that badly, when it actually happens, you don't know how to celebrate.
Yeah. So you put so much effort into saying on podcasts what we were doing back then, right? That we want him out, the reasons we wanted him out, going to the games as well, and just seeing the shit football at the end. Even though he still won some trophies as well, to be fair, but the football was dire, and he looked worn out. Now you see him on TV, he looks healthy again.
No strength.
He looks like he's like he looked like he aged like 20 years in the last 5 years.
Clearly,
now it looks like he's gone back to like late 50s again.
But it's really ironic. Even when Wenger had his time and the football had deteriorated and fan base wanted Wenger out, it was still better than what this bloke's doing. This is what I can't understand.
You know what? You're right. Even when we were shit,
we still
the
had
football was better.
We still had something. We never got to the place where we've got absolutely nothing. Because as I said, we're going into this Champions League game, it's ridiculous.
In all the years we watched Arsene Wenger, I never seen him play a defensive mid as a striker.
No.
I've never seen it. Now that I can remember, I've never seen him play a defensive midfielder as a striker.
No,
No,
no.
We always had strikers. He always had strikers.
We never had a
They might
defense.
not have been
We
the
never had a
great-
defense. We
Never had a
needed
defensive
midfielder.
midfielder to begin with.
We needed one.
Never had good centre backs either. But big up Northside for the raid as well. Big up to Ryan as well. He says, I've come here to apologise. I made fun of you lot for your opinions. I'm not Arteta out yet, but I'm seeing a bunch of stuff that is starting to frustrate me. I'll be watching more of you legends. Big up Ryan, man. Bless up, bro.
Right.
Big up Northside for the raid and everyone who's come from Northside's channel. I also want to read this comment. And then I'm going to get a beer and then we'll crack on. Bazza. Big up Bazza. Lee, did you see the press conference? I haven't seen this press conference. I haven't seen it. I can't lie. He said that Josh Kroenke came today and Arteta didn't speak to him because Josh didn't have time. That surely means something is off. Wow. Traveling across the world and no chat. Wow, that's crazy. And do you know what's funny? Because he sat in press conferences before and said we speak all the time, every day.
Yeah.
And now Josh ain't got time for him.
Because he trying to get this deal over the line. So
I think the foundations are in place. I think he's dead man walking, Arteta, to be honest.
I do. Hopefully they've seen this podcast.
I'm sure they have. I'm sure he watched it going across over the ocean there.
Yeah, man. He downloaded the podcast. Yeah, and he's whacked his earphones in.
I don't think you'll see a change in the summer, but I think by Christmas 2026, if nothing's improved, I think he could be gone by then.
Josh said he should put. I guess he said, looked at the stand and said, "Well, I guess Kenny's right. I need to put my nuts on the table."
Look, we're in a situation.
I think that's really frustrating, though, is all what you hear from the media and everyone else about, oh, yeah, but I think it's crazy that these fans want Arteta gone and that. Look where the club was. Look where the club was when he took over. And they make it sound as if we were in the depths of hell.
Yeah. But do you know what it is? Even the fans I see out here, right? I see fans out here that like support all different types of teams. Like the guy, not these glasses, the first set of glasses I've got is an old boy from Wolverhampton. Yeah, he's a Wolves fan. Yeah, and he goes, oh, this was last February. Goes, oh, you got to be happy with Arteta, ain't you? So I started talking about football. That is fucking shit, mate. It's absolutely crap. When I had a wisdom tooth out, 2 Decembers ago, the geezer was a Madrid fan. Well, he likes Isco. So anywhere Isco goes, he goes there. Yeah, but Madrid fan. Right? I said to him, what do you think of Mikel Arteta? This is not very good. He don't win anything. That's a Spaniard. Yeah, but then all the English fans, that I see out here, the majority of them will fucking go, yo, he's doing a great job, mate. Look at where you are. Look, you're putting a time charge up.
They would say that. But you know who's really got on my nose in the last week, and I've mentioned it in the podcast as well. Roman Kemp. God.
Oh,
I mean,
well, he's only where he is because of his old man, mate.
Oh, what a pain in the neck.
I actually disagree with the thing about him leaving. If this guy does come in, right, this sporting director fella comes in, right, and Arteta starts to get the ump because he can't get his own way, right, he can do 2 or 3 things. He can be a prick, stay, or he can walk out the door with a shed load of money in his pocket. Right, because he's going to get paid out. It's going to be a contract. He's going to get spilled out, 25, 30 million. Right, walk away. Never has to do another day's work in his life. I can't see anybody else taking him on personally. Well, somebody will, but hey,
LJ, Cadiz.
It's win-win for Arteta.
You know what? I agree with you, but
hang on a minute. He either stays and makes himself look a complete prat, and he gets ridiculed by this new guy if he does come in. Right, he gets totally undermined. He can't do what he wants to do, or walks out the door and says, "Thanks very much. I'll take the 30 million. See you later, boys."
Don't you think that's the same with all bosses, though? Have you noticed? Don't you? In the last 5 years. You never hear about a manager being sacked or resigning. It's always mutual consent. And I don't know what mutual consent means because normally in any other business, if you resign and walk out on your contract, you don't get a payoff or anything. But it seems like if a manager walks out of his contract, he gets a payoff. So I don't know what is there clause in the
But,
contract.
do you know what I think it is, Kenny? They'll either have a clause in their contract, or they've been told, listen, we don't really want to sack you, but you're sacked. So what you'll do is we'll dress this up as mutual consent. You ain't getting all the money that we owe you. Yeah, we'll give you a fee to fuck off.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll pay up the rest of this year. Like, so if he starts, and if he, the new year of his contract will start on the 1st of July. So if they put him by September, let's say, or October, until it gets back to the July again, they'll probably just say to him, look, we're going to sack you. Yeah, but we don't want to do that because you've done so well for the club, and we don't. But you'll get a little bit of severance pay.
Have you seen Potter at Chelsea? He left Chelsea in April 2023, and he only started working in was it January 25?
Yeah.
I mean that's not
because he's still getting paid from Chelsea.
Yeah,
he'll get another job. He'll get another job. Which
he'll get another job, but he won't get the job that people think he's going to get. He ain't getting Real Madrid. He ain't getting Barcelona.
No.
Yeah, he ain't getting
Man
PSG.
City.
He ain't getting fucking Man City. No chance. They're not that stupid. Yeah, like their fans will go crazy if he turns up. The City fans in this chat now. AK, would you take Arteta as the next manager? Like real talk. Like they don't want him.
Your friend? What about the ball guy? Your friend,
Big Steve.
Big Steve. He was saying that we need to, I'm sure I've heard him saying that we need to stick with Arteta. That he's going to, give him some time. He's eventually going to cook and win things. Or was it his brother saying it?
No, Steve did say that. But this is the thing, yeah. Like, I think a lot of these fans, like, obviously, Steve knows a lot more about what he done at Man City than I do. Yeah, but, mate, I've seen what he's done at Arsenal. I don't care what he done at Man City. What are you doing at Arsenal? Yeah, obviously, we want managers based off of their previous. Yeah, well, he had no fucking previous. He never managed a club, which is why I never wanted him. Yeah, and I wouldn't surprise me one bit if we went for Inzaghi. Yeah, this guy's Italian as well. So maybe we could go and get Inzaghi. We've got enough defenders to play 5 at the back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then all he needs is a couple of strikers and we're cooking. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. The fact he said that in a press conference, though, that Josh didn't have time to speak to him is crazy. Yeah, he's on the ropes, mate. There's something gone on there, big time.
Well, look, results are not his best friend. He's finally under pressure where there has to be some sort of accountability. I've noticed that he's gone on us. He's gone from being Man City's only competitors to the extent that we're a shoo-in to win the title, and it's gone wrong. And he's not a pork chop. Arteta knows. He knows his players.
Yeah.
He would have looked at that squad at the beginning of the season, and he would have known whether that squad can compete.
Sorry, Kenny, go on, Karen.
Is it? No, you carry on.
No, I also think that these owners from these clubs now, they're not silly. They're obviously seeing what's going on at Man United as well. And they're probably, with all their managers coming in, this bloke's come in and he's been a pretty much of a disaster for Man United. This guy that's come in, and
if they get knocked out of that, Europa League, that's their worst season in 40 years.
I mean, Now, whether they're not thinking we've got to strike now because we're seeing like massive club like Man United, huge club in world football, massive. And they're probably looking at that and thinking, hang on a minute, we if it can happen to them, we don't want this to happen here. So you just don't know. You don't know what's going to happen.
This is Arsenal's purple patch. This is Arsenal's alleged purple patch. When you're in a purple patch and you're going through like a renaissance where people think that the squad is in good stead, you have to have something to show for it. Football. People think football moves at times, but one thing that never changes in football is the fans' demand for a trophy, especially at big clubs. We're not asking for anything simple. The fact is that he can't win the big games. He can't win a League Cup semi-final. He can't win a third round of the FA Cup. We fear that if PSV win the first leg, then we've got an uphill battle next Wednesday.
Any result in PSV, any goal advantage for PSV is worth 3 goals for them, because we ain't scoring we ain't scoring more than 2 goals in the return leg. As I said before, I think if PSV win 1-0, they'll sit on that and they'll come to the Emirates, 2 banks of 4, stink the place out and go, coming in, try and score 2 goals. And it ain't going to happen.
You know the irony of the situation, DJB, is we actually had PSV in the Champions League. Was it 2008?
Yeah.
It was 2007 when Oscar, the Brazilian, who's the defender, went on to play for Chelsea. Who scored the header in that 1-1. I think he played for Chelsea. Set off. He left PSV to go to Chelsea. He was good with his free kicks.
Alex.
Alex. That's right, Alex. Yeah.
Last name?
It was kind of a similar situation, but I look at PSV and I think, you know what? The tactics, as you said, the tactics of the spot. If we go 1-0 down, if I was PSG, I'd just say, you know what? Let's just weather the storm for 30 minutes, wait for these guys to run out of ideas, and then let's just give them a little.
We've got
a counter attack to test the waters.
I mean, we've got to bring it back. We've got to bring it back as a 0-0 or a 1-0 or a draw or
a draw is a great result for us.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be tough tomorrow. I can tell you that. It's definitely going to be tough tomorrow.
Hey, do you guys notice that no Martinelli? He wasn't in a training ground. They say that Martinelli's doing light running. I can guarantee you that if results go south tomorrow, they're going to fast track Martinelli into the team for next Wednesday, even though he's not ready.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We've got Man United, didn't we, at the weekend?
Was that?
We got Man United at the weekend.
Yeah. I think the Man United game, believe it or not, this is probably going to be an Arsenal Man United game that is going to be of no interest to either manager. The result, it's all a bit. They're all going to put their eggs in the basket of Europe. Like Man United are going to put their eggs in the basket of Old Trafford, and we're going to put our eggs in the basket of the game on the 12th of March. Regardless of the result, you may see players being rotated for both teams.
Do you think so?
I would. I think Mikel Arteta is a realistic man to the extent that he knows the league's done.
Kenny,
well, Liverpool playing Southampton, aren't they?
With?
But Liverpool playing Southampton, Jez, at Anfield. You know full well that if Liverpool put the under 15s out there, they're going to win.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying to you. Who are we going to rotate our team with? Because he don't trust the youngsters that are on the bench.
It's a stab. I hear what you're saying. It's a stab in the dark, but it's one of those things where you look at the pressure we're under. He's realistic. He can talk. He can give the fans like ourselves as much hope as we need, and we could look at the Liverpool Man United game from the traditional point of view and say, you know what, it's a big game. Liverpool Man United, come on, that's a game that we all look forward to. But in the context of both clubs, more them than us, it's a game where there's nothing on it. We're not going to win the league. We're solid when it comes to the top 4. They're not going to get relegated because everyone's crap beneath them. They both teams have to do something in Europe.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Do you reckon when the new guy comes in? Do you reckon when the new guy comes in, he's going to look to bomb out a few players?
I'll be too surprised.
For those reasons,
I'm sure he will probably have a dossier of players that he will probably look at and go, yeah, they've been here too long, or I'm sure they're giving some kind of preliminary financial sheet for him to go over.
That's where the fallout's going to come, guys.
Exactly. I was going to say that's when all hell's going to break loose when he says
there's going to be a player that he ain't going to want to sell, but he's going to be forced to sell, and that's will make him walk.
Yeah, that's going to be Saliba.
Here's one for you. If this guy does come in, right? If he does, do you reckon well, I'm just saying this. I don't think he'd let Tierney go out for nothing. I reckon he'd say, no, come and give us some money for him.
Well, Well, I don't know. He's out of contract in the summer, so unless he signs a new contract, he's leaving, Jez.
Yeah, he's free in the summer. Yeah,
And he's already agreed a deal with Celtic, apparently.
Wait,
But again, is there a way? Here's a question for you lot: is there a way this manager's gone at the end of the season, and then we can convince some of these players that are out of contract, like a Party or a Tierney, we can maybe keep a Saliba if we get a top manager in. Is there a way this happens, or do you not see it?
I think if we have a massive slide for the rest of the season, then yeah, I could the embarrassment. See, Lee, if we potentially only pick up another 6 points or 9 points for the rest of the year, then I can see all hell breaking loose. And we finish outside of turn 4, all hell breaks loose.
I reckon he's going to get forced out. I honestly do. If it's true, I haven't seen.
Yeah, but Jez, would that be this season by the end of it, or is that going to be next season?
He's not going to last the whole year. I can tell you that.
I reckon it'll be sooner rather than later. And the reason I say this, right, is because Arteta is a very arrogant man. It's his way or the highway. And if he doesn't get on with this new bloke, if he does join, right, all ifs and buts and ands at the moment, right, I reckon if it's true that Josh Kroenke didn't have time to talk to him, that's a big indictment saying, you're fucked, mate. Because at the end of the day, supposedly they talk all the time, right? So if that's not the case, then this says to me, the snipers are on you, Arteta, and they're looking to get you out that door. You've only got to do the slightest thing wrong, and you're gone. See you later.
I've got the quote here. I've just gone on the Arsenal website.
Welcome to football. Welcome to football, Jez, mate. That's how football should be. Football's not.
Yeah, absolutely.
Football's football. It's the ultimate temporary job.
Yeah, this is what he said in the presser. Yeah, he said on if he spoke to Josh Kroenke because he was at training. He said no because he had to go, but yes, very happy to have him around. He's around a lot of times for big moments as well. Big moments. Listen to what he's saying. Big moments. What is the big moment then? Yeah. So big moment is you might be gone, mate, and this guy's coming in, and he's going to get us a proper manager. He then said he's the one that really wants to be with the team. It's great to have him. He's been around today and hopefully the next few days as well. Why wouldn't he talk to him? That makes no sense to me.
No, that's a weird one. That is friction. That is. I think the PSV result, if we lose heavily over 2 legs to PSV, I think if we only get sort of 4 or 5, if we struggle to stay in the top 4 by the end of the season, then there could be changes in the summer. But I think if we finish runners up, we get through the PSV game. I think this PSV game could be make or break this guy, to be honest. I think this is massive for him.
100%.
I think the writing's on the wall for him anyway.
Yeah, should be.
It should be. 5 years of fucking winning nothing. He shouldn't even be here.
Yeah, but isn't it healthy? Isn't it healthy? He's under pressure because
about time though, Kenny, isn't it?
Yeah, but if you look at it, he can't. I haven't heard him talk about injuries for a while, or just VAR and everything else. He's probably going to use it to defend himself. But if you look at the comments from the fans who've called into like the TalkSport and 5 Live, not one of them mentioned injuries. Not one of them mentioned VARs. But people like your Darren Banks and and Martin Keown have referred to injuries, have referred to adverse refereeing decisions.
Oh, yeah, of course they will.
Yeah.
Have you noticed as well? This manager stood on the pitch last season and said, "Demand more. Don't be happy with this, guys." Right? He also sat there, right, and said something along the lines of, "Yeah, the Kroenkes, they're the best owners in the world, but now they're not speaking to him. Now they ain't spoke to him today while he's there. Surely you'll have an hour spare. Surely Josh Kroenke is not that busy that he can't take an hour of his day or 10 minutes of his day to have a convo with Arteta after the training. Because it's not like they're training for 12 hours, is it?
It's just crazy. I can't get my head around that. It's just what you do, isn't it? You're the owner of a business. Yeah. The first person that you want to speak to is the person that's running it.
Exactly.
Any business. You go into, you go in Greg's the Bakers, and if you're the CEO of Greg's the Bakers and you just happen to walk around all the Greg's, anything, any business, surely your main priority is to speak to the people that's actually running.
If you're a regional manager, or a national manager of a company, as soon as you walk in the branch, you want to speak to the guy running that branch.
Of course you do.
Or the woman running that branch. Yeah. And then you want to speak to the team leaders in that branch, see what they're saying.
Even if it's only half an hour. Even if it's only an hour.
JB, you just say hello and 5 minutes quick chat.
This is what I think it's all. There's something going on,
We're going to find out. The truth always come out. The thing about the truth always comes out in the wash. Not how much you try to hide it. Not how many blankets you put over it. It comes out, and that's the thing. We found out the truth is trickled out about Aubameyang and how he left the club. We weren't told the truth at first. We were told that he was a disruptive influence and he was sacked from the football club because
there was no proof of that, though, was there? It was.
Let me ask you this: would you want to talk to somebody after when you supposedly came in December? You were only a few points behind the team, and then you come back and now you're 13 points behind them. Would you want to talk to the manager? Would you?
I would have sacked him.
I want to find out why.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
He knows what it is. He said, "Hell, I watched him ball 8, and I watched him ball last year, so I already know what's coming. So there's no need to be talking to him. Let's just go ahead and hire this sporting director."
How do you think? Because there's obviously the fan base is split, aren't they? You've got your Arteta in, diehard Arteta in, and the Cronkies get out. The Cronkies are the devil. Cronkies out, Arteta in. How do you think this appointment will be to people's views about the Cronkies?
Easy.
I was just going to ask the same thing.
Yeah. You know what I think it is? It depends on. You know what it's like. Let's just think about a war film, right? And let's think about the propaganda that goes with without a war situation. Say the Americans are at war with the Russians. You go on CBS or CNN, the Americans are winning this. You go on the Russian TV, they're winning this. And the thing with this proposed appointment, people who are behind him, Mikel, are going to celebrate the fact that he's going to get help now. The Cronkies are finally listening to Mikel, and that he was let down because we weren't able to get him in a striker in January, and we sold all our fringe players in the summer. Now we've got someone in, so he's an improvement of their do. And you know how shit their do was. Mikel, this guy Berta.
But then at the same time, Kenny, if this manager leaves the football club, they'll turn on everyone straight away.
But
they're more invested in the manager than anyone else.
But Lee, the Arteta-ins are going to turn this into a positive. People like ourselves who stand in the position of, well, this is a bit of a, how do I say it, a banana skin for Arteta. We're going to look at how it is. We're going to come out with something different. It depends how you spin.
Yeah, they're going to come out and say, well, this guy knows how to get deals over the line, so he's going to get us this sack in the summer.
Exactly. That's how they're going to look at it. And I think...
I'll tell you what.
Wouldn't it be funny if we actually got rid of this manager and then signed this sack?
Will this guy go to Bayern Munich and offer the buyout clause for Harry Kane for a season or so?
Fuck knows. Do you know what, dear? We don't even know what's going on behind the scenes, really, do we? But from what's being put out there, Fabrizio's posted 36 minutes ago that the deal's close. Formal agreement already in place.
Right. I wonder what he's going to say. I wonder what he's going to say in about 24 hours.
Here we go. Here we go. They're just logging it out.
We're all experienced. We're not kids here, right? We've all been around the block many, many, many times in life, in business, in whatever. Right, and I find it very interesting. Yeah, when you said about he was at the training ground today, he didn't have time, he was busy, man. Somebody in the chat says, "Oh well, I don't believe that." He's a busy guy. Bullshit. Let me tell you this right now. Right, when I was running the business, if I had a big project, and I had a 9 o'clock meeting, site supervisor, everything, all the big wigs. First thing I'd do, I'd say to my site supervisor, lead engineer, who's working for me, I'll meet you at 8. We'll have a chat, coffee. I need to know anything that I don't know, right? If I'm going into that meeting with you, I don't want anything coming up to surprise me. So you tell me, you've got issues, you've got problems, are you happy? How's the team working? Have we got any issues with any of the member of the team you've got working with you? The 8 engineers out there doing the job, I need to know. Whether I like the bloke or not. And I can tell you, I have some complete wankers work for me. Right?
We've been there, yeah. We've all been there.
Right? I have one project manager. And I binned him after 6 months. I said, you're no good. You're
Why
failing.
didn't you trust the process, Jez?
Oh, God, I didn't ever trust processes, mate.
It was results-based business. It was results right on the spot.
You do not have your lead man on the job, right, who's running the job, which is Arteta. He's running Arsenal team, right? If I'm the owner of Arsenal Football Club, the first thing I'm going to do at the training ground is, come on, Mikel, let's go have a coffee. Tell me your problems. I need to know.
Facts.
I need to know what's going on. Have you got a problem with this? Have you got a problem with that? Is there a problem here? Training ground all right for you? Medical staff working? Catering good? Blah, blah, blah. That's how it works, man. Come on. Make it make sense. Bullshit.
Right.
You don't dismiss your main man. Fucking hell.
Yeah, facts. Listen, we are going to wrap. I know Kenny's got a wrap as well. And I'm doing Villarreal versus Espanyol. That kicks off in literally 1 minute. Well, actually, it kick off in 3 minutes. We're always late out here. It always kicks off 2 minutes late. Hilarious. And then they blow the whistle early. How's that work? Dark arts. But before we do that, let me grab these super chats real quick. And bless up to everyone locked in. Kenny, you shoot now. I know you've got to go, mate. Yeah. Bless up. What you got coming up this week, mate?
Thanks for the chat. It's been a great. I look forward to this every week, and I'll be seeing Jez and quite a lot of you guys during the week. Just have to keep in touch, and
I'll see you tomorrow.
Let's just hope. All I want is a score draw. I'll take a score draw, but I'll take a 1-0 tomorrow. I don't care who scores it. Who knows? Maybe the set pieces might work again. Set piece again on LA.
Yeah,
maybe. Make sure you follow Kenny, Kenny Ken 1972 on Insta. Kenny, always a pleasure, mate. You have a nice evening.
Pleasure, guys. Matty, keep in touch. DJ B, Jez, all you guys keep in touch. We've got a lot to talk about.
If I do that, I'll see you tomorrow. The famous V.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Let me grab these super chats real quick. Listen, we ain't even at 700 likes. We ain't even at 550, actually. And there's 1,400 in here. Peaked at 1,700 at one point. So come on, get these likes up, guys. Big up to Ryan. It says, we are Atletico Madrid of England. To make sense, Berta would come to here. Yeah, it kind of makes sense. It does make sense. Yeah, we are similar to them. We don't dominate, but we put the pressure on every now and again and win the odd trophy. So, yeah, I hear that. Although they got a better manager. But, yeah, that makes sense, bro. Bless up, brother. Big up, Gigi. LFC put Slot on 6 million a year. His first season, he banned Arteta's process, who's on more than twice the amount Slot is getting paid. Yep. He's on nearly 3 times as much, which is wild, mate. I can't lie. But this is why when people say, like, who could do better, who can come in? Well, Inzaghi's on 5 mil.
Yeah.
Just go and give him fucking 10 mil. He's coming, isn't he? Yeah, and that saves us 5 mil straight away. Yeah, because he's on 15. So straight away we save 5 mil. It's not rocket science.
No.
Big up, bro. Big up, Lawrence. A core of our fan base have labelled me a glory hunter because I want Arsenal to win trophies every season, or they're happy for us to finish second all the time. Just tell these wrong uns, mate. The game is about glory. Yeah, you don't play elite level sport to lose. Pretty simple. Tell them, bruv. Don't stand for these mutants, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Kick off. Big up to you, Emmanuel. Big up Andy Hart as well. Been an Arsenal fan since 79. Alan Sunderland, seen highs and lows. Best moment part in Red Sea, 89. I'm done with the owners, manager. I'm done. Owners and manager are shit. Yep. It's not going well, is it? But hopefully this is going to be the turning point.
Yeah. Big up.
But we'll see, man. We'll see. Bless up, Andy. Always love, bro. Hope you're well, man. Man said I'd take a wet fart at this point, Chen. So I pick up Paul Bradden. It's better than nothing, mate. Make sure you got some tissue with you. Big up, fella. We are going to wrap. We are going to wrap. Jezza, always love. Shout your channel out, mate. Pinned comment is Jezza's channel. What you got coming up?
Yes, Arsenal history more, mate. Tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. DJ B, Kenny and I are going to be talking about the Arsenal, the great Arsenal goalkeepers or goalkeepers, whatever. And I've got loads of these shows. I've loads of them pinned down now. About next week, we're going to be talking about our DJ Kenny, mine, best 8 midfielders of all time. That's from the 30s through whatever, blah blah. Doesn't matter. It's the best 8, and going on from there. And I'm also going to be doing, I thought, something different, getting different team supporters on with Kenny and DJ to discuss teams like Man United, Liverpool, teams like that.
Cluffy's team.
Who?
Yeah. No, it'd be great. Can't wait.
And even I might go to the depths, the Tottenham. I mean, I don't know. Right.
Is anyone alive that actually see him have a good team?
I do know one guy. Who actually, I don't know if he'd come on live though, because he's not a tuber. I do know a guy who's a lot older than me, and he did actually see Tottenham win the double. So
wow.
Well, my old man was 3 when that happened, and like I said, I told you, didn't I? This game is it's 4 minutes past 9. It ain't kicked off yet.
Wow.
Got some geezer standing there on a mobile phone, pitch side. Yeah, it's fucking hammering down with rain.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know what's it's not hammering down with rain here, but yeah, I don't know if the game's been delayed. Has it been put back?
Yeah,
could be.
I don't know if it's been put back, but there's some geezer standing on the side of the pitch with a mobile phone in his hand. Fucking, I don't know who he's talking to. They keep zooming in on the fella. Don't know who he is. Yo, chat, has the game been put back? Oh, it's been called off.
Has it?
Nah, no way has it been called off. Don't tell me it's been called off because they ain't left the stadium.
They gotta be taking the piss, man.
Yeah, the players are in the tunnel, but they just ain't out on the pitch. Welcome to Spain, guys. This is what we do out here. A little bit of rain and fucking they can't play in the rain. These pussies like fucking used to playing in the sunshine.
Maybe
all
it's
the time.
lightning or something, Lee. Maybe it's lightning. Something like that.
I've never understood that either. What was that? Copper America? Yeah, fucking game was that? Who was it? Copper America. And they delayed the game fucking about 40 minutes because of a bit of lightning. You know, to get struck by lightning, a slim mate. Like, what are we doing here?
I've seen 2 coaches get struck by lightning.
For fuck's sake, mate. Did they survive?
Yeah, they survived.
Oh, fair enough.
One's got a scar down his leg, but yeah.
Fuck you know. No, that's crazy. Yeah, Denmark, Germany, that was it. It was the Euros. Denmark, Germany got called up in about 45 minutes to an hour that got put. Nah, that's crazy, man. Bit of lightning. Get out of here. But anyway, Matty, always love, man. Always love. Shout your channel out, bro. Pin comment as well, Southern Gooner.
Southern Gooner here on YouTube. Tomorrow I'll be with you and Ola watching the PSV game. And then we'll be getting ready for this weekend for the United.
Ooh, the big one.
For all of the people who watch the wrestling the WWE this weekend, John Cena did not sell out. He bought in.
DJ, always love, man.
I'm on with the legend Jez tomorrow for our history channel. That's going good. And
people love it.
You'll see me. Yeah, I know. It's brilliant, mate. It's brilliant. And you'll see me around on different streams and stuff. I'll get invited here and there. So, Arsenal X, I think, is going to try and do something on Thursday, which would be good.
That's right. I'll be with y'all on Thursday.
Yeah, with Aaron now. So that'll be good. And, all good, man. So, Lee, thank you for having me on as always.
No, bless, mate. Appreciate it. I'm looking at this game, mate. It's fucking light rain. It ain't even hammering down.
There must be something wrong, mate. I reckon there's something wrong with the lighting or something like that. It's probably an health and safety issue. That's what normally is.
Yeah, they're trying to get an electrician and he's saying mañana.
Yeah.
That's how it works out here. I swear you can't get anything done on the day.
Yeah.
It's not
Perhaps
even
they're
fucking, it's not
waiting.
even
Perhaps they're
pissing
waiting
down.
for the announcement of Berta going to Arsenal, mate. That's what it is.
Well, they've all
Yeah.
got their phones out, DJ. So yeah, maybe they're all scrolling. They're all sat in the crowd. Ain't even raining that much,
Exactly.
mate. What's the matter?
But anyway, guys, I'm out of here. So,
No, top man, mate. We're out. We're gonna wrap.
Matty, always a pleasure working alongside you, my friend.
Brother.
Jezza, see you tomorrow.
will.
Lee, all the best.
No, top
Love,
man.
guys.
Big up to
Take it
everyone
easy,
locked in.
guys.
All right.
Thank you, mate. Take care. And I'm going to raid my my second channel, and hopefully this game goes ahead. If not, then I'll have to do something else. But the players are out on the pitch clapping. The Espanyol fans, the players are out on the pitch clapping the away end. I think they're all going home. I think it's called off.
Oh dear.
I think they fucking called it off.
Berta in.
Yeah, they've called the game off.
Wow.
They were walking out the ground. And it's all going back into the concourse. But the Espanyol, that's a fucking mission. Yeah, it's for them to go home. That's a good fucking 3-4 hour drive. Anyway, we're going to raid that channel. We're thinking something else, isn't it? Maybe Juve, Verona, or Forest against Ipswich. Maybe we could do either one of them. But yeah, it's been called off. They're all walking out. Anyway, fuck's sake, man. I want to watch proper football. I'm also back later after one of these games on the American Idiots show with TJ Warren and Dow, Oregon Goon. That's at 2 a.m. my time. What have I got myself into on that one? 2 a.m.
Good luck.
Fucking why do I agree to this stuff, man? Anyway, we will be there. So yeah, I'm out. Tomorrow back with rants. Anyway, all have a wonderful evening. Smash the like, sub to the guys. Cronky out.
Berta.
Ooh.
Berta.
Arteta out.
You prick.